What's up, guys? Welcome back to another TRGT video. We're going to be installing the Strange Single Adjustable Front Struts onto Bludini 2.0 right here. In the last video, I installed the rear shocks into Bludini. That's the easiest thing to install. It would take about, I would say, probably maybe 30 minutes to 1 hour, depending on what tools you have. It's a really simple, easy job. I knocked those out first, and then now we're going to be knocking out the single adjustable front struts into Bludini 2.0. Originally, I had here this impact wrench that was not strong enough. So then it's been about a week since I made that video, and I went ahead and bought a Milwaukee set. I got a deal on this. I got the high impact Milwaukee set half inch for $420, along with the 3/8 and the bag as well. I found a deal on Marketplace, and it comes with the batteries too. So now I got me some Milwaukee tool sets that I can use so I can start working on Bludini and getting these strong bolts off the car. And by the way, this car has not moved yet this year. It's been about a month and a half. I never even started this car yet, but we're just gonna get with the installs here. If I didn't mention, the brand I have here is Strange, and I went with Strange simply because, one, my buddy had he was selling these, and he gave these to me for a deal, and these are gonna be perfect for the soon-to-be future setup that I'm going to be throwing onto Bludini. I have the front struts right here, but we're going to have to take off the springs off of the stock struts. I have a spring compressor right here. I never actually compress springs myself. I watched my friend do it, but today we're going to do that. We also have an 18mm wrench right here. I got a 3/8 wrench, and then we have an 18mm socket with a 13mm socket and a 10mm socket. And then we have, of course, some power tools here that we're going to be utilizing. So we got an 18mm wrench on the back, and I also mentioned you need an 18mm socket, but you will need an 18mm deep socket to get into the sway bar length right here. Nope, all the way. Sway bars out. Next, I would remove the 10mm bolt that holds on the ABS line about right here, but my ABS line is already off. My ABS line is already removed, so then when I pull the knuckle out, the line won't be dangling, or not dangling, it won't be hanging onto the knuckle, and we won't rip it. Oh yeah, one of the hardest parts for me was to get this bolt out from the knuckle. So this is what made me get this Milwaukee 1200-pound torque, high impact torque wrench, the nut buster. I hope this gets it off. I think y'all bolts or y'all nuts might be a different size. I actually got a 21mm socket right now, and I remember I did the lowering springs, and I think I changed the nut out, so yours might be different. Perfect. That's like butter. With the other impact wrench, y'all, I would never have gotten this thing out. Now I'm gonna smack this bottom nut. Hopefully this comes off nice and smooth, just like the first one did. Perfect. I'm telling you, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. With the right tools, it makes your job much easier, less stressful, and saves you a lot of money. I finally invested in a high impact torque wrench. Make our way up to the top portion here. We got 4 13mm nuts. Okay, this last one we're gonna leave on. I'm not gonna take it all the way off. Not yet, because then the strut will completely just fall down there. I'll hold this strut. Okay, the strut's down. Pull the strut on out, and voila. There we go. One side of the spring compressor onto the spring right here, and then we're gonna put the other side on over here. Essentially, you wanna start at the top. Like I told y'all, this is my first time doing a spring, or this is my first time compressing springs. I think that's cool, just how it works, just like that. Make sure the push pins, I guess the push pins have to be pushed in so they're locked into place and it won't pop out. Yeah, that works. to this side again, I guess. And that's spinning. Okay, so at first I couldn't get the nut off because it was spinning, so before I compress the spring fully, I'm going to slowly back the nut off. Be careful, because then if this comes off, then this whole thing is going to pop up, and that can be dangerous. I never experienced it before, but I seen a video with the tire on the back side and then a wall on that side. In case it does want to pop out, it's not going to really pop out. Now the nut is actually spinning off, and then boom, it's cool. Got the top head off. This was the scariest part, I thought, about changing off the struts and changing the spring over, but that came off like butter, and that was simple. Take the boot off and the bushing.
What, you seem like you know what to do with cars.
A little bit, not much, but I'm learning on my car. Basically, just only like my car. But what do you got?
So let's say if your car always needed a jump,
yeah,
right, no matter what start up.
Yeah.
But 20 minutes into driving it, it dies out completely. What would you think that is?
I would guess that you may need a new battery or maybe the alternator. What car is experiencing that problem over here?
That van, about 2 vehicles down. That piece of shit.
Oh, that one right there?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I would do, I would test it. Test the battery. You could take it to AutoZone.
I know the battery's shot.
You know it's bad?
I know the battery, I mean, it's from 2019, but it's not a cold weather rated battery.
2019, it shouldn't be
I didn't used to live here. I lived in Virginia Beach, where it's warm all the time.
Yeah.
And then moved here before the cold snap.
But has this car been in the garage?
No, not the entire time.
No.
Oh,
but I'm thinking it's the battery. I would start with the cheapest thing. So go to AutoZone. You said the battery's shot already, so
yeah.
Just so y'all know, I really never filmed in this is the second video I filmed in the garage. And now that people come in and out, they're always wondering what I'm doing and they're stopping me. So that's actually the second person off camera that was asking me a question. The first person asked me about an oil change, literally like 20 minutes ago. And then I gave her my business card that I do photography, and I got extra business there. And then there's maintenance guys driving back and forth on the carts. I gotta get cool with everybody so I can keep working on my car here. Because supposedly I'm not supposed to work on my car. We're gonna take off, we're gonna put some lubricant on this right here, this bushing. Easy. Throw the boot back over. This is gonna go just like this. Also, before, yeah, y'all can barely see a little bit.
What unit are you in?
What unit?
Yeah, in your lease agreement, you're not allowed to be working on your cars in the garage.
Really?
Yeah, or they can terminate your lease. So, you're welcome to do it outside, but you just can't do it inside. Okay. I just don't want you getting in trouble, so.
Okay, appreciate it.
Because they could end up giving you a fine or terminating your lease, so.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah.
I've got a couple. Keep
oh,
them.
you just.
That's why I asked if you have one.
Sap, okay, I appreciate it.
No problem, man.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for the advice.
Yeah, no problem. One of the neighbors just gave me a free OBD 2-port reader. Shout out to him for that. Thanks. So that's one of the guys that works on the property, and I can't work on my car inside the garage, but I can work on my car outside of the garage. And this is my second time working on the car here inside the property, and it's understandable with what they said, so I'm gonna have to abide by the rules. I just had another neighbor come in, and I'm trying to film, but then like a lot of people are down there. She said I'm always working on my car. What are you working on today? So I'm gonna just go ahead and throw some Loctite onto here. Definitely too much. Jeez, man. I'm gonna also throw a little bit of Loctite on these nuts. Sway bars back on. Slap that with a 13 mil and then we'll be done. Went ahead and tightened everything back down. As you guys see, now the passenger side is done. Another day we're gonna go ahead and do the driver's side. Obviously, as you can tell, I cannot go ahead and keep working on the car into the garage. So the weather is getting warm in the Chicago area. It is winter time, so that's why you see this car is dirty as shit. It hasn't been driven. I don't want to take it out in the salt. And next week is gonna be about 50, 60 degrees about the whole week. So I'm gonna do a little startup of the car for the first time of the year 2026, and then we're gonna take the car outside, do the other side. I'm not gonna record that part because pretty sure it's already boring enough, but for you guys that are gonna do this install, you got a little bit of instructions here, and then also check the comment section and check the description of the rear shock installation that I did in the previous video as well. Without further ado, we still got a lot of things to do with this car. The summer is coming, or the spring is coming, and it's time to get on a move. Catch y'all in the next video. We gone.